Let's move on to the Golden State Warriors, though. And hat tip, I asked friend of the pod, Jacob Bourne, what he wanted me to talk about and investigate further. That could maybe catch you off guard. And he said Golden State's rebounding. So I investigated Golden State's rebounding. Golden State is eighth in defensive rebounding outside of garbage time, their defensive rebounding rate. Their last 5 years, though, their ranks in the past 5 years, 2020, 2021, 22nd, 2019, 2020, 24th, 2018, 2019, 17th, 2017, 2018, 29th, and then 2016, 2017, 26th. Golden State has not ranked in the top half of defensive rebounding rate since 2013, 2014. So their number is 8 for this. I'm trying to remember to do that. I will say, this is also what I found interesting. 2, only the Heat allow fewer putback attempts per 100 plays on the defensive end. So Golden State is second in that metric. And the other thing, Otto Porter, they're statistically a wash with him when you look at their rebounding, him being on the court. He's been so good on the glass. I think even better than many who knew that Otto Porter Jr. was a good rebounder expected. And lineups with he and Draymond Green have a 79.8 defensive rebounding rate, which I don't like making these comps, but that would lead the league by a mile. And it ranks in the 96th percentile of lineups with logging at least 10 possessions overall. So their rebounding has been, I think it's one of the things that is not fallen by the wayside, but you're focusing on Draymond Green's defensive player of the year case. Everyone was focusing on Steph and shooting threes. You're focusing on Jordan Poole's breakout, Gary Payton II. People want Andrew Wiggins to make an all-star team. Their rebounding has sort of flown under the radar, though. They're still not playing especially big. They have Kevon Looney, Nemanja Bjelica, Draymond, JTA, Otto Porter Jr., Jonathan Kuminga. Like, those are their main frontline players. Gary Payton and Steph are above average rebounders for their position, but they're not, so they're not this huge team. And I don't think they really upended their roster in any way. If anything, you could argue without James Wiseman, that should be the one area in which he would definitely help them. And for them to be this good of a defensive rebounding team is truly impressive to me.
Yeah, I would say the credit definitely falls to the wings, I would think. Like Draymond in the wings, because Porter has made a big impact there. Peyton has made a big impact there. Just the physicality ending possessions. But yeah, I would not have expected a leap quite that substantial.
No,
what is Clay's return going to do to that? Because he was never the best rebounding swingman.
Yeah, but like if is he taking Damian Lee's minutes? Or if he's cutting into Andrew Wiggins' minutes, Andrew Wiggins just doesn't rebound. So look, and to the point about Steph's shooting percentages, if anyone cares, I was just checking where Steph ranked in scoring gravity impact this season. It's still third in the league. The mere concept of
Who's
Stephen Curry is
Trey and
Giannis and Jokic. So look, and that's per B-ball index. It's just, I don't think, and this holds true to Jokic, there's no one in the league who not having the ball, just by virtue of being on the court, has a bigger offensive impact than Steph Curry, probably in the history of basketball.
I think it was Anthony Doyle, maybe, who was saying this on Twitter the other day about how like we're quick to credit Steph for reinventing how basketball is played and having such a monumental impact on the next generation, when it might actually be like Damian Lillard, who is the more likely candidate, because as popular as Steph is, no one can replicate the way that he produces his threes. Like those relocation threes that he's so good at are just impossible to actually replicate. And it's really guys like Damian Lillard, like Trae Young, who are taking those pull-up threes from such long range with such frequency that are having the impact on the up-and-comers, which I think is an interesting thing to think about, just because Steph is unique even among the unique players.
Yeah, he's one of one. He's one of one.
Uniqueness is technically an either or concept. There aren't really degrees of uniqueness, but if there were, Steph would be the most unique.
He is anomalous times infinity.
There you go. Perfect.
That's the stat.
That's a great number.